Okay, my friends, today we're going to learn about quantum levitation, and we're also going to learn about magnetism and electricity. And here's how we're just going to be playing games, but we're going to be learning a ton. You see this? That is a string of magnetic balls. If I put it there, it has a polarity. Now that means one end is going to have positive, it's going to want to attract to a negative, and the other end will be negative and it will push away from a negative. So let's see what this end is and what this end is. So if we come close to them, what'll happen? Ooh, that one wants to take it. See? It wants to attract. Boom. Now, what if we turned this one around? This time, what do you think will happen? Because this time it's opposite, so it should push it away, right? Wow, look at that, it does. They won't go together. Look at that. Look at that. So this is now, let's say that's positive and that's positive both. A positive won't go to a positive. A positive wants to go to a negative. So if I turn this one around, I would have a negative on this end, and watch, it'll attract it again. Bip, see that? It happens every time. So now if it attracts here, you see, they want to attract, see? They want to be together. They'll always try to come to each other. Oops. Now, oops. Now if I turn them around, the same thing again, see? They won't go together. Now, so now look at this. This is so cool. I have this tape around here somewhere, and here it is. Now, do you see that? This is magnetic. They call it ferro tape. See? These are magnets, and I can write on there. Now, I am going to clear this up just by washing across it. See? Make it nice and clear. So now watch what happens when I put it on this ring of magnets. Boom. You see that? You see that? Now, what you are going to see when we watch what he's going to do with the experiment, he's going to have a ring of magnets. You're not going to see it. It's got a ring. And then he's going to take another magnet that's so cold, it's so cold, it's called superconducting. And I'll tell you why that happens. It's because there's no extra electrons. And when he puts it on there, it will try to attach, but it will be pushed away. And I'll show you how that happens too in an experiment. And when he puts it on, it stays right on that line, and it goes around and around and around because it is entangled. You know what entangled means? It means something that's like that, like this. If they're like this, that's not entangled, that's a layer. This is entangled. You see it? It's all swished together like that, like fabric. That's entangled. Now, we're going to see this in action. Wait till you see this. I love this stuff. Okay, now this is so cool. Okay, now watch this. All right. These guys are good, and they're funny, and they're smart. He's very, very smart, Mr. Colbert. Now, here we go. We are going to play. Now, that's the liquid nitrogen, and that's nothing more than the gas that's in the air, only when it gets so cold, it turns into a liquid. We'll explain all these things at some point as we go forward. So, that's a liquid nitrogen, but it is so cold that if you touch it, it'll burn you. You think it can't burn you, but it freezes your skin so quick that they call it frost burn. All right, now, it's not really burnt. It's because it's so cold. It destroys the skin that has to be kept from being too hot or too cold. So now, there's your liquid nitrogen. There's going to be the superconductor. It's a little round superconducting magnet. He's going to put it on here, and it will go around. We're going to explain all this, and as soon as we see this, I'm going to show you how electricity works, because he's using electric principles. What that means, a principle means something that covers a lot of territory, a principle. That's a principle. Well, that covers this, and that means a little of that and a little of this. Yes. Electricity and the negative and positive forces of electricity that push back and forth, just like we saw with these, that is what we're talking about, and that's what he's going to show. Okay, my exceptionally good friends, we are back to quantum levitation being explained. Now, here he goes. He's going to put his superconducting magnet.
This is a circular track, so the field is uniform along. So if I take, well, let me not put nitrogen.
I just want to say, when he said field, it's not like a field out in the yard, in the backyard is a field. No. This is a magnetic field, and that means a bunch of different magnetism. You can't see it. It's in the air. The magnet is right in the middle, and then there's all these lines going around it, but you can't see them. But you will watch and understand that there has to be these lines, because that won't touch this. It's been pushed away. So there's obviously something going to push that away. Now I'm going to let you think about these things. I'm going to ask you some questions here and let you think about them until we get into the next video. So let's watch this, and I'll ask you a few questions as we go along.
Just even I know not to put my fingers on liquid nitrogen. Now I want you to take this guy and give this guy a gentle little push. See that?
Okay, now I want to ask you some questions. You see, it's not touching this. It's just floating around in a circle. Why does it come flying way off of here? Why is it stuck to this? Why is it stuck only to this ring? Why do you think? All right, that's the first question. You see these little bars here. Those little bars, I'm going to tell you part of the story so that you get a little bit turned on to this. Those little bars are magnets. So they're going to try to attract this. But it doesn't attract it and pull it against it. Magnets usually, if you have two magnets and you put them close together, they'll go like this. Now, you could turn them around and they would oppose each other. They won't touch head on. But if they're this way, they want to go together. So that's a little trick that I'm going to tell you about. Now that's the first thing I want to know. Why does it stay in the ring? Secondly, what's all this white stuff coming off? What do you think that's all about? All right, let's watch it for another second. Let him explain. All right, here it goes.
Look at that. Now we can also, how soon until I go to work on one of these things? Oh, that's going to be a while, but check this out. We can even do this upside down. Now this doesn't always work, but let me give this a whirl.
Now, everything you've ever seen that had a weight to it falls right to the ground, right? Now watch what happens here.
Over here. All right, here we go. Come up the other side here. And let's put this here, and I will do this barehanded. Anything for science. And there it goes. Look at that.
You see that? Now,
So it's holding on to it.
do you see? It's underneath, and it's not touching. Now, why doesn't it fall? Right? It obviously must be attracted. Attraction means to pull something towards something. These two magnets are, they're attracted. They're attracted to each other. Now, if I turn this pole around, now I have the two different poles, and if I push it, now they're repulsion. Repulsion means to not, it's the opposite of attraction. Attraction pulls together, repulsion pushes apart. And both of those things happen in magnetism and electricity, and that's why it works. So let's look at electricity, and then we'll call it a day for today. And you can probably have a bunch of questions. Maybe you can ask your mom and dad or whoever takes care of you to ask them about these things. All right? So let's look at a little deeper, and then I will let you go about your business. Okay, this is a little tricky, but you'll figure it out. You see this? That's nothing more than what a battery looks like. Inside a battery has positive over here and negative over here. They want to be together. This should try to get to there, and that should get to there, but there's something in between them. It's called a dielectric. You don't have to remember that. Just remember there's a separation in between the pluses and the minus. So they really want to get to there, but they can't go this way. So if you run a wire around and through a little light bulb and back to this side, they will go around through the light bulb and come back, and the light bulb will glow. That's what's called an electric circuit. A circuit means from one place to another. And as long as the positives come over to the negatives, it's really the negatives are the little bitty pieces. They go around and they scrub through that light. And when they scrub through there, it heats it up. It's nothing more than what happens in your mom's oven. When she turns on the burners, the electricity goes through those burners, and just like a light bulb, it resists it. And when it resists it, it heats up and glows. So the light comes through, or the electricity comes through, and it says, well, I'm going to push, I want to push, I want to push. And it says, well, I'm going to get hot. He says, well, that's obviously what I'm doing. It makes it get hot, and then it finally squeaks through, and it comes back to this side. Eventually, you'll use all the electricity. They're all gone, and you have to throw the battery away and get another one. That's how it works. Now, that's what a battery's like inside. This wants to get around and get to there. So, what is it going through? Well, it has to go through either the air or water or matter or liquid or some type of a wire or through a feather. It has to go, electricity has to go. Now, electricity's not going to go through there because electricity says, no, you can't come through here. This is so resistive. It resists. This is no. Well, you're never going to get electricity to come through here. It says, no, you cannot come. No. It's very, very resistive. Now, you take a wire or a piece of metal like a nail, and the electricity comes down and it says, can I come through here? And it says, hey, no problem, come on through. Zoom. It goes right through there. That's called a dead short. A short means a short circuit. It means from this part of the circuit to this part of the circuit, there's no resistance. Nobody's saying stop. It says, go ahead. Everybody go. Well, it gets over to the other side, and there might be a light bulb there. And it says, well, that guy said you can come through here. And he said, why? I'm not letting you come through easily. He said, well, I'm coming through anyway because he said I could come through. And the light bulb says, well, if you do, I'm going to glow. And those little electrons say, good enough. And they go right through them, and they go right back to the positive side. So these are the particles. And some of them say, no, you can't come through. And some of them say, come on. The ones that say you can't come through don't have any extra little bitty particles hanging around them. Okay, those are the little things that move. See, they go through here and they go right through all that stuff and back to the positive. If there's none of that stuff, it can't get from here to here. This is the stuff, the little extra electrons that's inside of things that don't resist. They don't say stop. They say come on. They're called conductors. They conduct. It's like a conductor. Say, come on, everybody on board. Yo, I'm a conductor. Come on, let's go. And they jump on board, and he says, I'm the conductor. Let's go. And they conduct through here over to here. and pretend those were the little particles in there that would make light. When they come into there, they bang them around, they bang them, and they bang them, and they bang them, and they say, oh, and they light, and you get light. And that's how you can see. And if they turn off this wire, so that wire doesn't come through here, no more electricity, the light goes off. All right, so that's how a circuit works. That's how positive part of the battery and the negative part, there's a dielectric, just like that, right in between them. And it might be some other material like this. All right, and it says you cannot go that way, you can only go this way. And you can't go that way, it's going to come around to you. That's how a battery works, that's how a circuit works, that's how electricity works, that's how conduction works, and also resistance. All right. Now, that is accepted by virtually anybody that understands electricity. So you don't have to worry about talking about this. This is the way electricity works. I am going to tell you some things that are not what you will hear from your teachers. And you're going to have to listen to what they tell you. Your teachers are going to tell you things. You have to listen to them, and you're going to have to tell them, I understand what you told me. Don't fight with them. Don't argue with them. You know, if you have nice teachers and they want to discuss this, then that would be fabulous. But they may be upset that you ask them about things that they won't have an easy time explaining, let's say that, because they can't explain these things. When I present you with the evidence, it will be overwhelming to them. And overwhelming means there's nothing they can do to fight back against it. They'll say, uh-oh, I was wrong. And they don't want to say that. I can tell you that right now. Nobody wants to say they're wrong. So if you go in telling people, oh, you're all wrong, that's crazy, I know, Roger told me this and Roger told me that, they're not going to listen to you. So you have to be diplomatic. All right? Can you say that word? Diplomatic. All right? You ever hear of diplomacy? Probably not. That's kind of a word that you don't hear every day. But diplomacy means that you respect somebody. You go and you say, I want to speak to you respectfully. All right? That's one of the most important things that you will learn here, is not to be nasty. Sometimes you're going to get nasty, and I do too. There's nothing you can do about it, because sometimes you're confronted. Somebody comes at you in a manner that makes you nasty. So you don't want to go at somebody else in a manner that makes them nasty. You understand what I'm saying? That's what they call give and take. Give and take. It's respect. They respect you, you respect them. That's called karma. Karma means you get back what you give. All right, you're going to learn all this stuff, Mudfossil University, because you have a whole life ahead of you, and the things that are being taught, you know, I want you to have both sides of what they call the equation. All right, an equation means when you add something up. You say, I'm going to make an equation. You say, what are you going to make an equation about? Well, I'm going to add up these apples and these oranges. And so many apples weigh so much and so forth. And you say, that's the equation. Well, if you only have the apples and you don't have any idea about the oranges, well, you can't make the equation work. You have to have both sides. So I am going to present you with the oranges. You can get the apples at school. All right, I will present you with the oranges. All right, my friends, I love you so much. This is so fabulous. I want to teach you everything there is to know about electronics, about electricity, about light, about the earth and geology and space, chemistry, anatomy, biology, the whole 9 yards. We're going to learn it all here together. And I want you to tell me if you want short, quick ones, or you want me to go longer? Because I think this is going to be kind of a long one, and some people don't like it. They get a little tired, but some people like, a lot of kids like longer things. I don't know. I'm not a kid anymore, so I'm hoping you guys can help me out. And I'm going to learn a lot from you guys, because I'm not, believe me, I learn more from people like you that will have questions. You say, well, how did that work? Why is that happening? Guess what? I think if this happens, that's going to happen. You could tell me. I will listen. Present evidence. Always present evidence. All right? I love you guys. God bless you. Do what you should do. Respect people. Be diplomatic. Learn everything you can learn.